This video, we're checking out the brand new Furitek Terra COMP edition. So there's been a few different variations of this truck before. This is the latest comp, highest performance, baddest. Furitek said, if we're going to make the baddest, meanest one that we can get, let's make it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to go over what you get inside. We're going to go over the truck itself. We're going to get out and give it a drive and see, is this truck that is not cheap, $300 truck here, is this $300 micro crawler really worth it? If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Troy. This is RoadsideRC. You'll tend to find me bashing or crawling or drifting or racing, plus doing product review videos and how-tos. Let's get started by getting it out of the box. Right, first thing up is the controller. This is Furitek branded Gripor V2, but it looks very similar to some of the Dumbo RC stuff that we've seen before. Honestly, great controller. Has all the reverses, has all the trims, everything that we need there. In the bottom, it needs 4 AA's to get you up and running. Oh yeah, we have the truck itself, bright orange. We'll get to that more in just a minute. Little adapters to get you from the receiver to standard servo plugs if you need to plug anything else in, if you're going to be doing winches or if you're going to be doing lights or anything along those lines. And a quick instruction manual with a download to the Furitek app, dimensions and instructions around the controller, around the ESC, how to bind it, and some of the different features of the truck. So the first thing you'll notice is the body came right off, right? That's because from the factory, magnetic mounts, strong enough to hold the truck up, but also comes right off. You don't have any body posts sticking through. That's pretty fun. Don't normally see that on a lot of different crawlers. But this right here, this is the meat of why we're here. Look at all of the features. Look at how upgraded this thing is straight out of the box. It's absolutely ridiculous. Let's start with this super low slung carbon fiber chassis. Look at that, super lightweight, super thin, all the components down low, right where they need to be. I'd say the only thing that would probably make it a little bit better, you notice nice 10-degree angled skid here, but it's somewhat in the center of the truck. If this could have been a little bit farther forward, that might have been helpful for overall weight distribution. We'll have to get the scales out later and see what it looks like. Notice that all the steering links are metal. We have high clearance links, both front and back. We have the steering link up here in the front that is all fully metal. No flimsy, wobbly plastic that you have to replace, you know, almost immediately. It is already upgraded for you. The tires, what's really funny about these tires, literally sticky, like sticky to my fingers tires. I'll be very curious once we start to get them dirty, what happens with that. But inside here, you'll notice brass wheel weights, brass hexes already in there, and pretty good noticeable amount. It is interesting to note that they put them both front and rear, so weighted wheels all the way around on the truck. Portal boxes here. This is a portal equipped truck, front and rear, and it does look like that is all plastic. Maybe there will be an upgrade to some additional brass there at some point in the future. Axle is plastic. Full metal transmission case here in the middle, along with, this is the mini Komodo Unity. It is the brushless outrunner 2-in-1 setup, just like what I recently tested in the 10 scale, except in the micro scale. Look at that, already attached to the transmission. Here's that Digiboard right here. Well, I'm very curious once we get this fired up to see what all we can see coming up there. Supposedly this allows us a lot of onboard tuning. You can get the truck, again, slightly cheaper without this, or you can get it with it on board. It comes with pretty long little power lead here with the pH, I believe these are those pH 2.0 connectors on them. Unfortunately, I don't have any batteries that run that, so I'm going to have to immediately cut this and solder on a different plug. The ESC is capable of both 2S and 3S, so you are able to run up to a 3S LiPo, and you can see the battery size here. I have some of these like little cheapo batteries from Amazon that look like they would fit in there just like they were meant to. But you also have plenty of room to run. I have some drone batteries that are kind of a higher C rating, but pretty small. They're just a little bit longer. Looks like they'll fit nicely, but just hang off the sides a little bit here, which shouldn't be an issue. If you don't want to use this PH 2.0 and you don't want to solder on a new plug, Furitek actually does offer a universal power adapter cable set that goes from this to, I forget what it is, like XT30 plus some others. I forgot to get it, so I'm going to end up soldering mine on. Not a big deal. Other components, we do have their Furitek's standard micronode receiver back here that pairs with this controller beautifully. And you see, of course, their standard steel Metal Gear servo up here at the front. We'll notice it odd that the servo horn is plastic, so it'd be nice to get that upgraded. Shocks are beautifully set up, oil filled. You notice that like sink right there. You set the truck down and it, boom, it sinks down in them. So it sits down and droop a little bit. Suspension feels beautiful. I have my little 2S LiPo there all in, fired it up. We got our little screen working. Steering's good. As expected out of that brushless setup, low speed throttle control is going to be really, really nice. Alright, the basic screen here just shows voltage and the temperature. And if you either slide left or right, it gives you a little counter. The 18354, I'm not actually 100% sure what that is, if I'm honest. And then voltage, I believe, is the voltage of the battery. And so you can just filter between the two of those. So it's really cool. If you click down, then you get running settings, throttle curve, battery, exit. So this is all the same things that you would get in the app itself, but you can enter them here. Forward, reverse, the BEC outputs, voltage cutoffs, max forward, reverse, max brake, drag brakes, power, all the stuff that we would expect to see in the app. Instead of doing it in the app, you can do it right here. Throttle both forward and reverse. You can try to do the curves in it. Oh, that'd be pretty wild. So is this really useful for you? It's they charge about an extra, what was it, $30-ish in order to have this with this truck versus not. So now if you're just gonna want to tune everything with the app, you can completely do that and save that $30. If you think having this on your truck is worthwhile, then you could add it on. And it's really not that much extra, but it is, I'll be honest, it's pretty cool. My setup here from the crawler tracks, the Wave, and it is about time to go ahead and give this thing a drive. We got have the 2S LiPo in it, and we're gonna just see how it does here. Articulation's great. I mean, check that out. Look at the truck just absolutely flexed out there. Super easy to drive. And the same thing back this way on the other side. Well, that didn't upset it at all. Truck is super planted coming over that peak there. It just goes on without a problem. I am curious about the speed. So this is on 2S. That's full throttle on 2S. On the 3S. That is noticeably faster. Now, after having recently driven the Red Cat Apex, and it's really, really good, I'm going to take this down to the rock wall and try to go over some of the same obstacles that it did, because it handled them a lot better than I thought it would. Downhill throttle control, really easy to manipulate there. It just does seem like maybe the weight's not in the right spot. It wants to come over way too easy, it seems like. I kind of feel like it should go up this, and it just doesn't want to. Nice. Need that front end to just lay down there. Back from the test drive, initial thoughts on this Terra Comp is that, you know, it actually seems to have decent performance. It is above average when it comes to the 18th scale crawlers. Think TRX-4M and SCX-24s and all those kind of folks. This definitely outperforms it, but is it a little bit better, a little bit worse than the Apex? I need to drive them back to back, head to head, stock versus stock, in order to find out, and in order to see just which one I think really is better. It comes with, I mean, you know, you can't deny all of the good parts that it comes with. The 2S, 3S capable is great. Portal axles, weighted wheels. It ticks so many of the boxes on the spec sheet that it'd be hard for it to be not very good at all, right? The tires are wonderful straight out of the box. Very good, very capable tires there. Happy with the traction that we were getting. Very rarely was anything that I couldn't go over was it due to the fact that I didn't have enough traction. It was more due to just total center of mass, I believe, and where that truck wanted to start to tip. So before we wrap this up, I do want to get my scales out. I left my 3S battery in there that I was running, and I want to see, what does this thing weigh with that battery in it? What is that weight distribution? With that 3S LiPo in there, 475 grams total weight, 5347 front rear balance. Skid is just dead in the center of the truck. It is angled, which is awesome, but it is dead in the center, and that's causing that 5347. I mean, we're really close to 50-50 on this truck, where I know we would much rather be 60-40 or maybe even more. Is there an opportunity for us to take off the brass on the rear to get some of that weight gone? Is there an opportunity for additional brass parts on the front to help out there? If any of that is possible and we can help shift that total weight balance to the front, I think that would help this truck out noticeably. I'm curious to hear your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think? Based on the test drive you saw, the specs you see, is that $300-ish price point, is that right where you think it should be? How do you think it stacks up versus some of the competition that's out there? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. If you are curious about buying one of these, I will have a link to it in the video description so that you can go snag one right away. And if you are curious about anything else that I have done, vehicle reviews, there will be a whole playlist popping up over here to your right, and I hope to see you in one of those videos. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.